Hello and welcome to the Sewing Studio. Today I'm going to talk to you about scrap bags. What is a scrap bag, I hear you ask? Well, a scrap bag are all the pieces that have been cut off the ends of the bolts when the machines cut the pre-cuts, i.e. layer cakes, jelly rolls, etc. And it is sold by the weight. There's lots of things you can do with it. The width of the pieces in the bag does vary, and I'm going to show you one in a minute that I've opened, and we'll talk about some of the things we can do. But I'll just show you these first of all. So this one was a really light, bright one, and the piece that was the largest piece, and they were fairly regular shapes. So I just literally cut them into wedges, and then I sashed them with some white, and then just edged it. This was something that I already had in my stash, so I just edged it with this pink because it went really well with it. So that would make a really lovely baby quilt, and really reasonable when you think about the fabric that's in it is only £13.95. So by contrast, I had a different bag, so different size pieces. So I had to put my thinking cap on. What could I do? Because I had lots of narrow strips and there was quite a bit of black in it. So what I did was, where I'd got narrow strips, I actually cut those down to the narrowest point, i.e. an inch, and then my bigger pieces I could make 2.5 inch squares. So again, this bag had hardly any waste. I used nearly everything in the bag, and then I just put a black binding on it with fabric that I already had in my stash. So again, really simple, quick, easy quilt. So I'll just show you what the contents of one of these bags looks like. So that's how the bag comes, and here's one that I've already opened up. So you can see roughly the sort of thing that you get. So this is a Halloween one, and these are nice, really wide pieces that you've got here. So possibly with this, I could use the bigger pieces and I could do a log cabin, and then I could use that as the center for my log cabin. And then with the narrower pieces, let's have a look. So like this one, for argument's sake, is a little bit narrower. So I'm just going to give you some approximate measurements. So there is a selvage on here because, as I say, these are the ends from the machines. But just get a ruler a minute. I'll get the smaller one. And this one, for argument's sake, with the selvage is 3 inches. But if I cut the selvage off, I've got a good 2.5. Well, 2.5, that's jelly roll width, isn't it? So there's lots you could do with that, and lots of these are a decent width. I'm just going to measure this one because this one's a little bit narrower, and this I probably would either cut right down like I have here on this one, or I could just go round, as I say, a log cabin. So that, of good fabric, is 2.25. So actually this bag, looking at it, is quite generous. As I say, they all vary, but it's just open it up and be creative and think, well, wow, what can I create with that? As I say, there's lots of ideas. You could do crosses in the middle and sash around the outside. You could do wedges like I've done on the other one. You could even do where you join 4 different squares into a block of 4, and then you could sash round it to make a bigger log cabin, and just see what you've got. Have fun with them, and as I say, because they're a lucky dip, they're even more fun. So I leave that one with you, and I look forward to seeing you next time here in the Sewing Studio.